From the towering skyline of Toronto to the sunny streets of Orlando, two titans of virtual golf collide. Team Golfplay and Team Leadbetter Academy, the best of the best, are taking on the timeless old course at St. Andrews. Where legends have walked, technology now transforms. With cutting-edge innovation from GOLFZON, these modern masters will tackle the windswept fairways in the treacherous road hole. Who will dominate the digital domain and triumph on the turf of tradition? The stakes are high, the swings are sharper, and the stage is now set. This is where history meets high-tech. The GOLFZON World Championship starts now. All right, let's take a quick look at how this bracket is shaping up this year in the GOLFZON Tour. And welcome in to this legendary match on the GOLFZON Tour. It's going to be very exciting. Let's take a look at the track that we have here today. This is none other than the old course at St. Andrews. This is a really, really special golf course that these players are on today in the digital domain. My name is Emma Carpenter. I am joined by my co-host, Landon Ashworth, the amazing, the wonderful Landon. Landon, are you pumped for today or what?
Well, the GOLFZON Tour is just about as much fun as you can have with your pants on, Emma Carpenter. I'm titillated.
Well, Landon, what do you think that we're going to expect to see today? Team Orlando, Team Toronto? What do you think is going to happen?
It's anybody's ball game out there today. I don't even think we've seen play from one of these teams, right?
Well, we are very familiar with Team Orlando. We saw a match, but let's take a look first at Team Toronto, Landon. This team, they've got some real good golfers. They're showing up ready to play today. First up, David French. He's from Ontario. He's been playing since he was 4 years old. He's played baseball, hockey, volleyball, the dual sport athlete. He shot 66 a couple of times in the Ontario Am. I have some friends who played in the Ontario Am. It's not easy, so that is real impressive.
That's pretty dope. Now we are at the land of Disney Orlando, Florida. It is hot, it is muggy, but thank God they are in air conditioned. We have our first player up. That is Geronimo Estave. We remember him from last time. He played a really nice round of golf. Got him indoors at 72 degrees inside and 170 degrees outside. That's what drove him into a golf simulator. Fun fact about him, he teaches people how to race cars. Vroom, vroom. Let's see if he can't get a very low score with all that speed.
He was the one, Landon, who closed out with the final birdie in the last hole to win the match. But back over at Golfplay in Toronto, player number 2, Luke Moser, he said that he mainly started playing golf because of the snow. You know, it definitely does get chilly up in Toronto, but it's a great way to work on your game as well. As we know, simulator golf is a really unique opportunity to dial in on that technique. He played some college golf at Troy University, so he knows competition all too well.
Back to the land of back sweat in hot humidity. We got Harley Clyburn. We remember her. She has an absolutely stunning golf swing. Is just a fairway finder. Little fact about her, she took a break from playing on tour and caddied for Jody Shadowoff. How dope is that? We like her a lot.
That is very, very dope, Landon. Indeed. Rounding out the team back at Golfplay in Toronto, Jace Wary. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Is he casting a spell on us right now?
I like him.
No, it's a sword. It's a sword. First, I thought it was like, he manages Golfplay, and he's very proud of the team. So, I mean, gosh, wow. He is proud to be a Canadian, proud to manage Golfplay. He's ready to go today. He's not holding anything back.
He's a tiny little guy. I love him. Well, back to Team Orlando. We got Chris Wilson. We're already off the train tracks. What's the thing about him? He finished second on a PGA Tour Canada in the PEI Open at 2022. We expect to see around a 63 from him if he's playing at the old course. This is a gettable course. Now let's talk about some signature holes. Emma Carpenter, can you lead us through some signature holes?
I absolutely can, Landon. Let's take a look at hole number 1. The very first hole, the burn, 376 yards. Seemingly straightforward par 4 sets the tone for the round, but these players need to beware. The infamous burn lurks just short of the green, ready to punish the overconfident. Hole number 5, par 5, 568, the ginger beer hole. It blends beauty and brutality, Landon. Vast fairway invites a powerful drive, but the real challenge lies in the undulating green, one of the toughest to read on the front 9. And rounding out the front 9 is the 352-yard par 4. Brings you back to the heart of St. Andrews. It's a unique challenge for accuracy and creativity. Without further ado, Landon, let's get right into the action.
I'm going to just talk on top of you this entire time, Emma. If you ever think about talking, I'm going to be on you like a honey badger on just about anything. Because those honey badgers just do not care.
Honey badger don't care.
No, honey badger don't care at all. Emma Carpenter, do we feel that these outfits from Team Toronto are going to give them an advantage because, you know, they're channeling? You just tell me what famous golfer you're thinking about that wears all black.
Well, there are a number that I'm thinking of.
This one's from England.
Are you quizzing me?
He's elderly.
Are you quizzing me?
He's in infomercials quite a bit lately. No, I'm just trying to see if we're doing a brain meld to see if we got it on. The player that I was thinking of is actually from South Africa. I was thinking of Gary Player. He's from South Africa. Feel like a prostitute. I thought I'm not good with accents.
That's okay. That's fair. But Landon, I mean, to answer your question, I don't see why the all black outfits would do anything but help them. I like it. I like the energy. I like the outfits. They're ready to go. Team Orlando has a solid win under their belt. Came down to the wire to the final putt, but these are 6 really good golfers.
Beautiful full swing from Holly. Just an excellent turn and pass through the ball. She's just great. She's just a fairway finding maniac. Emma Carpenter, I'd like to tell you a little story about one of the times that I played the old course at St. Andrew.
I would love to hear this story.
I got out there. I like to travel at Christmas time, and the nice thing about the old course, don't care what the weather is if you get out there in the winter, you don't have to set like giant crazy plans up because you can pretty much just walk on. So normally if you play the old course at St. Andrews in the spring, great, they're very, very close to the pin. Play the old course at St. Andrew in the spring, you basically have a 0% chance of getting on the golf course. Even if you line up at 8 or 9 p.m. the previous day and camp out in line, you may not get a spot.
Wow.
So I get there the day after Christmas, and it is sleeting and hailing, and it is brutal. Oh, just barely passes that creek there. Very nice shot. And I walk up to the starter at about maybe 9 a.m., something like that. And I said, "Can I go play?" And they're like, "Yeah, go ahead. You're next on the tee." I said, "Great," because I was hoping to play by myself. That's why I showed up here a little bit later. And they said, "Well, not too fast. There's a couple locals that are going to be playing with you, but you have to go past their place." It was a couple of shots right there on the green. And I go up to him, and I'm super nervous about talking to him. Another great shot on the green from Team Toronto. And I go up to him, and I say, would you guys mind if I join you to play? And they said, oh, you're American. And I said, yeah, where in London are you from? No, I'm just joking. I knew they were Scottish. And they said, yeah, just go and join us. We got 6 straight birdie putts, ladies and gentlemen. First one heads towards the hole, dives, just lips out on the right side. Just trickles about 3 feet past. Very nice putt. First one from Orlando Falls. We are probably going to get worst par birdie from Team Toronto and Team Orlando, respectively. So they say, yeah, join. So I step up there, and my hands are shaking because I pretty much exclusively play solo because it freaks me out. And so I hit this shot, probably the longest drive I had ever hit in my entire life, with the wind helping. Nice shot there from Team Toronto. That'll be a par at worst. And so I hit this shot that was the longest drive I had ever hit, and it was just short of that creek there. If you look at Team Orlando's screen in the lower left-hand corner, that little creek, and that's running right in front of the green on number 1. I was afraid that I was going to drive it in the green, and that would have been like a 370 yard drive, but it was just short, and I couldn't feel my hands. Number 1, because I was so nervous because I was playing with other people. I usually play solo. Ooh, Team Toronto tries to take another birdie putt, and it just skirts the hole. Gonna have to try to figure out what in the world is going on. Putting, we got beautiful putt from Holly. Oh, just lifts out. Nice try. All these are birdie putts that you're seeing. This is a very, 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 very easy hole, number 1. It's just, you can hit any club, and the green is the size of Manhattan. Not a lot of putts are falling here. The only birdie putt that we've seen fall is the very first one from Team Orlando. So I'm just short of the creek, and they said, well, we expect, looks like almost a guaranteed win for Team Orlando here, folks. Another birdie chance here. I think they're probably going to get birdie, and I don't think that we're going to get that from Team Toronto. Sorry for interrupting the golf that you're watching. Bogey from Team Toronto, and Team Orlando skirts it. Ooh, blows it by. Not that bad. 7.5 feet left for Team Orlando. Oh, he is still up. 3 worst words in golf. You're still up. Here's into the back. Par for Team Toronto. Let's see if he can make his comeback. Make this comeback for par. Lots of pars. 1 bogey so far. So anyways, I'm just short of the creek. Sorry to interrupt my story with the match that you tuned in to watch. That's going to be a win for Team Orlando. So 1 hole down, 1 hole up.
All right, Landon, first hole is wrapped up. Team Golf Zone Leadbetter is 1 up. Let's take a look at hole number 2 now.
We might as well, since we're here and everything.
We're only 1 hole down, but goodness gracious, is the match getting a little muy caliente. Emma Carpenter, hole number 2. It is a par 4, 452 tasty yards. You do not want to be right. You do not want to be left. You want to be dead in the center of that fairway. You got to be hot off the tee. Keep away from those bunkers left and right, and a massive green to work with. Let's see what the teams can do.
But Emma Carpenter, more importantly, I'd like to wrap up my great story about number 1.
Please, Landon, please.
I hit this amazing drive, and the players are like, wow, I think we're going to see some unbelievable out of you today. And I said, oh no, out of bounds. That's not how you want to start off with Team Toronto going OB, and that's exactly what you want to do. Orlando showing us the way to go home. So I'm about maybe 10 yards behind the little creek that runs in front of the green. I have both these very traditional Scottish players root me on because they think that they're about to see the round of their life. And I line up and I chunk a wedge directly into the creek, 10 feet in front of me.
That does not sound like you.
No, it's me, because once the pressure's on, that's when the crumbling starts. But we were able to pull it together and had a real great round. We all laughed, and once we all laughed, it was a pretty special day in the sleet and the rain with the Scottish players. We got absolutely hammered after that round, and all the golf was forgiven.
Well, Landon, what did you fire that day? I just have to ask you.
I don't remember what my score was. I know I didn't. I know I shot over par. But it wasn't a lot over par. Like 1 or 2 over or something like that. But it was sleeting. It was raining. We weren't playing the furthest back tees, but the conditions were just abysmal. Great shot from Holly there. Just gotta hit the brakes. Now, the really cool thing about St. Andrews, if you've never been out there and played traditional link-style golf courses, and it's just so cool, you have shared greens. So the green complexes at the St. Andrews, the royal and ancient St. Andrews, several hundred years older than our country that Emma and I are broadcasting in of North America. I got to tell you, it is just unbelievable when you step onto these green complexes, and they're the size of most people's, home fairways, and it's a shared green. A lot of holes share 2 flags on 1 green, but they are so big that you have to hit a massive shank to ever be on someone else's hole. But it's really cool. Have you ever played any traditional link style golf, Emma Carpenter?
Oh, absolutely. Links golf is really, I would say links golf is my favorite, which is funny because I grew up playing on a traditional country club golf course, which means the tree line fairways, the big oak trees, which is, there's good and bad with that. It's just kind of personal preference. I do really enjoy links golf. Usually the wind comes to be a really big factor. But Landon, I got to ask you, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had to use a rangefinder to figure out how long your putt was?
I feel like if that's happened, it's happened at St. Andrews. I walk off all of my putts anyways. Got birdie putt coming up for Orlando. I feel like you have a story to tell me. Nice out from behind that bush. Let's see if it sticks. Ooh, just trickles out.
Yeah, well, Landon, I have played a lot of competitive golf, lots of junior golf and then into amateur golf. And like you're saying, those greens are so long, they're so wide. I mean, it was like I had this putt where I could have stepped it off, but then I probably would have been assessed penalty strokes for pace of play because it was just too far to walk off. So then you just gotta...
Are pace of play penalties prevalent in NCAA? Because they don't charge enough of those in the PGA Tour.
Yeah, that's definitely a controversial topic, but I would say that pace of play is an issue on every single level, really. I mean, it's just, there is no excuse, and I do think that it's going to continue to be a problem if players are not, if there's no penalty.
Yeah, that's right. Toronto just absolutely manhandles that one like a teenager in the back of a car on a first date. Can't get that top off and can't get that putt to fall. Uncharacteristic of Holly there, missing a putt by quite a large margin. She's a little off kilter other than that very first drive, but she's going to find her way back to the land of red numbers. She is currently sitting at even par. Don't forget, there's a lot of birdie and eagle putts possibly coming up on this very short par 5. Go. Mic'd up his putt.
Here's
get down to drop.
Jace Wary for his 36-foot birdie putt. The manager of Golfplay. He's going to have some work left there as well. as Geronimo steps up for par. This is no gimme, Landon. 5.5 feet left to right.
It's a gimme for you, Emma Carpenter.
Oh,
Emma
it
Carpenter.
depends on the day, Landon. Depends on the day. Rarely I would give that to myself.
Emma Carpenter, are you absolutely blown away that we haven't seen an eagle on a 450-yard par 5?
Yeah, I would say so, especially because we've seen that these players can really move the golf ball. I'm definitely surprised that we didn't see some solid eagle attempts.
That's right. Oh, man. Uncharacteristic. But a par. Not going to hurt him. Good job, Holly. Toronto hits that thing with a Gatling gun. But if you've ever played St. Andrews in the winter, they are like shag carpet. You gotta manhandle them. Playing a little winter golf. Oh, never a doubt. Absolutely terrific double bogey. I don't think that has ever been said out loud, nor should it, other than in a hall of shame. But Toronto buries that for double. I love this little guy. Get in there. Ooh, lipper.
Oh boy, Landon. It's looking like hole number 2 is won by Team Orlando for the 2-up start.
Last putt was like kissing a horse on the mouth. Nothing but lips. Now, how do you get a double bogey on a 450-yard par 5?
Well, it looks like this one was actually played a par 4 from about 400 yards today for these players. So
Oh my goodness.
that's okay, Landon. You could just trust your instincts. You played this yourself. You're an expert.
Yeah, but I've been hitting the head a lot, Emma Carpenter. We got hole number 3. It's par 4, 398 yards. Looks like it's playing 396 yards of par 4. Sorry for the absolute abysmal play calling on that last hole, folks. I am obviously deep into my second bottle of NyQuil.
No need to apologize, Landon. You're trying to make a score regardless of what par is, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
That young man just got away with murder. Trickles out of that deep junk in the fairway. That would never happen in real life. That would have just been sucked up by that deep junk. The Gorsk out there in St. Andrews is otherworldly. You will lose a golf ball 1 inch into that stuff. It is thick nastiness. Gotta love that one-handed finish that we just saw from Team Orlando and still pipes it into the fairway. You ever have a one-handed finish, Emma Carpenter?
Yes, I have, and I usually immediately regret it.
My one-handed finishes are usually when I'm tomahawking a putter into a water hazard.
Geronimo is telling his golf ball to get lucky, and now here's another swing.
Oh, that was 308 in the air. Hello.
Wow.
That man has got some club head speed. All right, you're about to see one of the purest swings that we've seen on the GOLFZON Tour. Look at that. Just a thing of beauty.
I mean, I don't think it gets any more middle of the fairway than that, Landon.
No, you can split an atom, you can split a hair, but you can't split a fairway like Holly, I'll tell you that. She's a one of a kind.
What a call. What a call.
It's a physics call, which is not the most popular call in all of sports. All right, 5 yards left. Have a little 25-foot putt, 15-foot putt, rather.
That's Jace Wary. That's your guy, Landon, the manager of Golfplay. Small but mighty.
God bless his heart. I bet he has never heard a short joke in his entire life. He escaped them his entire life, and now we're just being mean to the little guy. But, you know, I just want to toss his hair and give him a Skittle. Sure, you were thinking the same thing at that exact same moment, Emma.
I was just going to ask how you read my mind that way.
You and I are linked. We're announcers. We have that. Oh, almost slam dunked it out of Team Orlando. Nice approaches.
We're definitely going to see some birdie putts coming up here. It may just be battle of the putters on hole number 3.
You know, I think it's going to be birdie putts all day long. The old course at St. Andrews is, in a word, gettable. Of course, the course record to the old course at St. Andrews belongs to none other than myself. No, I'm just joking. Rory McIlroy's got the course record at St. Andrews, I think, right now. If that's right, Emma, or I think I just 15, 25, 18 feet birdie putts in Toronto. 18, 15, 15. Not bad. I think we're going to see something special out of Holly here. Oh, get in the hole.
How about that?
Handsome, educated, and an all black. Watch out, ladies.
Luke Moser goes Drano.
Oh, beautiful pass out of Holly. Just kind of floating left. It's going to have to bite. Safely on the green. We'll have a 33-foot putt for birdie. Holly lipped out in Team Toronto. Start to expect to see some putter tosses and F-words getting thrown about, but not quite yet. We're still early in the evening, folks. Emma Carpenter, stop me if the NyQuil's kicking in, but we haven't seen Team Toronto play yet, have we?
I don't believe so, Landon.
Oh, their balls almost became kissing cousins. The worst of all cousins, but both balls just miss the back of the cup. Yeah, so that means that Team Toronto got a bye from performing so well in the seed tournament. Nice little par there for Team Toronto. All right, Holly, show us the way home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. And yes, is. But another par from Team Toronto. Holly will have a kick-in par. I believe in her and all that she has to offer. It's nothing but rock solid golf. Team Toronto there looking on anxiously. Needs this putt to push, and it's a 15-footer, just barely undulating right. It is up, it is away, and it is going to miss. Looks like that's all square, Emma Carpenter.
You gotta like the effort, though, Landon. The way that he didn't leave that putt short, he gave it a run, and Toronto, they're all smiles, rightfully so.
All smiles, getting a little liquored up. It's 9:30. Do you know where your children are? Nice. Makes a putt, but that is not going to be enough because there were some birdies in Toronto. Probably some type of Canadian goose is my guess. Toronto's in Canada, Emma Carpenter. That's not a fact that very many people in America are aware of.
I've been to Toronto personally.
Parlez-vous français, Emma Carpenter?
Sorry?
Parlez-vous français, Emma Carpenter? Emma
I don't speak French.
Well, sure enough. What are you gonna do?
They don't do a lot of French speaking in Toronto. That's more in Quebec.
I'd had exposure to Topgolf. I'd seen that intermingling of entertainment with golf and was very curious about it and thought I could bring that same kind of energy into indoor golf. Lots of different people come here from different, 8 years old to 80 years old come and play here and see their friends here. Everybody that comes in the front door's got a smile on their face. They're ready to have fun. They're ready to tee it up. And so that's really nice to know that you're kind of a positive influence in the community for a lot of people. We've always really believed in a good kitchen, so we've got stone pizza ovens at both locations. You know, you come in here, you eat while you play. You're with a whole bunch of people, not just 3 people in your golf cart. You know, so even though we all love golf, not everyone loves golf, and not everyone wants to play golf. So we recognize that. So we've got a secondary activity or 2 in here. We've got a pool table, and we've got 4 bays of augmented reality darts. So as much as we are a social place and we want to focus on that, you know, we always say we're an entertainment place, not a performance place. But we do have the range here, and the GDR simulators are used mostly by individuals who want to, you know, just work on their game. But most people are here for the social side of it and seeing their friends and playing a different course each week. It's a social environment. Golf is the excuse to get together, and we're happy to provide it.
I'd like to see a flyover. Good God. Speaking it shall be answered. Hole number 4, it is a par 4, 480 delicious yards. This is a signature hole. It is called Ginger Beer for those Moscow Mule fans out there. Crack a can and get to liquor, and a drive to the plateau on the left of the gives you a good view of the approach. You got to attack that narrow valley, and that'll be a little bit more risky. Shot from the right side to avoid that large mound, about 20 yards out from the green. Shot from the left will have to kick an array of bunkers. Probably one of the most famous arrays that we have right now up in the northern night sky is the Starlink array of satellites. Over 5,000 autonomous satellites make up their geosynchronous orbit, giving high-speed broadband internet connection to the world. Right, Emma Carpenter?
I don't see why not. I don't see why not.
Emma Carpenter, that was probably one of the best calls in sports you just made. Cheers to broadcast school. Paid off, finally.
Landon, I gotta ask you, all of the options on this hole, so many, I mean, different ways that you can approach it. What's the way to go? It's looking like all these players are taking that fairway up the right, just gives them a real straightforward view at the green. What do you say?
Oh, no, I aim over to the left.
Okay.
I play a big cut. Because if you aim at that fairway on the right, you got OB right, and I just never want to flirt with that. I carry that bunker right there in the middle. If I hit a bad shot, see, there you go. Played it just a little bit too far left. So I probably try to work a golf ball off that bunker right there that you see in the middle of the fairway, from left to right, and just take everything out of play. It's a what is it, playing 464 yards. Yeah, so I just work a fade off. But I know you, Emma Carpenter, you're going to work a draw no matter what. No cuts in your future.
Oh, you know me so well, Landon.
Well, when you share a cell phone plan, Emma Carpenter, you better know each other. And by the way, I've been meaning to tell you, you're over your minutes.
Oh, boy.
That is not a reference that you would get being only 19 years old.
You seem to keep thinking that I'm 19, Landon.
Well, you just have the appearance of a 19-year-old. Youthful and invigorating. Emma Carpenter, back to golf.
Well, I'm definitely interested to see this shot coming up out of Team Toronto. How about this coming in from Geronimo?
Wow.
That deserves some applause.
That was a missile of a long iron. Probably beating a PGA Tour average of proximity to the pin from 208 yards. That was a very, very nice shot. Never offline for a second. Just dead straight rope. Emma Carpenter, have you ever been absolutely hammered in Scotland?
Have I?
Yeah, that's...
I've never been to Scotland, personally.
Never even been.
No.
Well, That's what happens when you're 19. You don't have the world to see yet. Might want to take a gap year after high school and get after it.
Yeah, so many years left though, Landon.
Well, that's what we hope. I'm praying for you every night, Emma.
No, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Landon, I tell you what, so far what we've seen in this match, and I know that it's still very early on, but this Toronto team, they are 3 just phenomenal golfers. All 3 of them have played extremely highly at the amateur level. A couple of these players have actually won at the professional level. I mean, this team is without a doubt one of, if not the strongest team on paper in the GOLFZON Tour. So starting out with Team Orlando going 2 up through 2, still hanging on to that 1-up lead through 3. It's going to be interesting to see if they can really give Team Toronto all they can handle.
Got that right.
Toronto stepping up with 2 birdie putts in Toronto. This Chris Wilson over in Orlando for birdie from just under 30 feet. Let's see what he's got.
Lipper. Ollie can't believe that it didn't go in. Got another birdie putt from Tiny Tim. That is not nice, Landon. You need to pray for forgiveness. I like that little guy, though. I just want to give him a hug and a little peanut butter M&M.
So why the Skittle and the peanut butter M&M, I gotta ask?
It's what you give little kids. It's just that's not nice, Emma Carpenter. God bless his heart. I just like him. I'm not speaking down to him. I just love him.
It's meant to be endearing, right?
I love him. I just want to put him in a little bassinet and take him for a walk. Give him a little golden retriever puppy and just see his face light up. And a little puppy licks his face and it's like, oh, little puppy, little puppy. Well, you'd probably name him Buttercup or something, something cute, you know? Very beautiful birdie off Geronimo, and that's exactly how you want to follow up a 208-yard piss missile from leaving you a 4-foot birdie putt. He played this hole on expert mode. Let's see what we can't get out of my best friend here. Lower right-hand corner of the screen. Holly's going to have a kick-in par putt, it looks like. Ooh, just misses to the right. Yep, never a doubt from Holly. Expect her to make all of those. How hard she works on her game.
Team Orlando locks up that win on the hole with the 3 from Geronimo. Really impressive 3 on this longer par 4. Orlando will go back to 2 up. All right, Landon, just like that, the first 4 holes are done. Team Orlando is 2 up. What do you think about this start that we've had?
I like it. I think that both teams are having a nice time and building a really good camaraderie and a nice friendship.
Oh, well, that's wonderful.
But that's just how the team is doing as a team. I think these 2 teams hate each other and they just want to bathe in a bath of their competitors' tears. Let's see a little hole flyover of hole number 5. It is finally the par 5 that I tried to call a few holes ago. 570 delicious yards. Emma Carpenter, do you know what the famous name for this hole is?
Hole number 5, 570 yards. Landon, if I had to guess, I would guess Hole O'Cross.
That is absolutely absolutely correct. Snap hook from Geronimo, but he is safely in a neighboring fairway. God bless him. It's not going to hurt.
Gosh, we've seen so many really solid drives out of Team Toronto. You can tell that they can really move the golf ball, but if you look at actually the cumulative scores, you can see that Team Orlando all the way around is outplaying Toronto. Toronto 3 over, 3 over, 2 over, and in Orlando, Geronimo, Chris Wilson 1 under, and Holly at even par. Just from top to bottom, Orlando's off to a
much better start, considerably better start.
Yeah, and we saw that in a previous match where a team got really hot off the start and just deflated like a hot air balloon that's been shot with some sort of Harrier missile, lost all of their mojo and had to find it and just clawed back, and it ended up going into overtime, if you don't remember that.
Oh, how could I forget, Landon? How could I forget? Team Houston.
Bottle of NyQuil will make you forget just about anything, Emma, and make you mess up your words. Nice pass through Holly, but it does roll through the fairway. It's not going to damage her too bad. She's in the second cut, but not in the Gorsk. Thank the Lord. We go driver off the deck here? I think we're about to see a driver off the deck.
Yeah, your buddy Jace is not afraid to hit driver off the deck. Why not? 278 yards.
Look at this guy.
Ball way above his feet. Oh my goodness.
God, this is a power play. Oh, and he hammers it.
This string is a string.
Get going, you sucker.
No way.
Slap him on the butt and give him a Gatorade. He deserves a cold shower for that effort. I like him.
My gosh. I think the fact that the ball is way above his feet makes it even more impressive, too, with the driver off the deck just straight as a string, 280 yards.
Now, he's the manager of this bar, correct?
That's right, Landon. That's right. See, that bottle of NyQuil isn't making you forget.
I've got notes that are tattooed on my hand, so I just had to consult my palm, as they say in the middle school boys' locker room, if you know what I mean, Emma Carpenter. Back to the action. Real nice shot from Team Orlando. It is fading delicately to the right and is going to roll off the green. Now, we're going to show you something special and effervescent, and that is the cheering section of Team Toronto. Not a carjacker in sight. They are friendly. They are polite. They will say sorry if they accidentally cut you off. That is just a whole bunch of Canadians. I am surprised, though, that there is not one bull moose there. Emma, does that also blow you away?
That there's not, sorry?
A bull moose? I was
moose?
told that there was more bull moose per capita than people in Team Toronto. Oh, man, Holly just hits an absolute missile. It's going to probably shoot out there to the right. Yeah, bummer. Great shot, though.
Landon, I think that they're saying sorry, and they'll say pardon me if they didn't hear you quite right. Pardon me? That's a Canadian.
Emma, I'm just going to take that as you are also surprised there's not a full-grown Canadian bull moose in that bar.
I mean, I guess I could say that I wouldn't be surprised if there was, Landon.
No, that would be an absolutely bonkers thing to be surprised by not seeing a bull moose in a bar. You know,
I could never go against my co-host, you know.
Oh, you should. This is not improv. It should be no but, not yes and. Great chip there from Team Toronto, was able to slam on the brakes. Looks like Toronto is finally finding their mojo and asked that girl for her number, and she said, yeah, I guess. I don't have plans. And that's just about the best that you can hope for sometimes. Emma Carpenter, can you tell the people back at home to hit that tasty little checking chip? What are they missing out on in their own game?
Yeah, you know what? When it comes to hitting a chip that checks up, it's just all about the contact that you have from the ball to the club face. Those grooves are there for a reason, and if you can catch that golf ball just right and really nip it, then it gives you more opportunity.
On the wings of eagles, Emma, no one is going to know how to hit a checking chip, because we just saw some of the best golf out of that beautiful specimen of athlete, Jace Weary. Emma, I'm just telling you straight up, who needs luck when you got that level of skill?
Wow.
Flawless finesse, fairway focus, fantastic finish.
No. You just back Eagles. Good Lord, you saw that beautiful
Landon.
animation.
Landon, they must have heard you asking for it.
You know, I feel like they felt it. I think that Canadians have that ability.
Professional golfers, Landon. Tell you what, now that Luke Mosier's going to step up looking for a little nail in the coffin. Eagle is going to seal this hole, but birdie putt almost gets it done. I mean, why not?
Emma, what do you think would be more ridiculous? 3 Eagles from Team Toronto or a full-grown Canadian bull moose just meandering by?
I think the 3 Eagles from Team Toronto.
I think the bull moose. We gotta work on your believability of outcomes this thing.
Oh, I'm kidding, Landon. When you asked about the moose, I thought that it was a metaphor for something.
I'm sure everything's a metaphor for something, but we all know that Team Toronto has already won this hole, so the rest of this putting is ceremonious but useless. Emma Carpenter, would you tell me one thing?
Of course.
Great. I didn't have anything in mind there for you to tell me, Emma. I was just going to leave it an open forum. See what you come up with.
Oh.
Emma, I've seen a whole lot of things in my life, but I have never seen back-to-back E on the GOLFZON Tour. And I know that you haven't because you've been with me calling every match. Look at my beautiful little man here, just absolutely rolling the rock in the dead center fist pump, hand slap. Give him a gallon of maple syrup. I bet he already has one in his pocket. And not one, but 2 eagle putts, hand slap, gallon of maple syrup. God bless them all. They're going to be riding a moose all the way home. Hole number 6, par 4, 414 yards. Emma Carpenter, pick up the slack.
Oh, well, sure thing, Landon. Hole number 6. This marker post guides drives from the metal tee. Shots from further forward should go left of it to avoid the bunkers on each side of the fairway. The approach shot has to negotiate the goal in front of the green to reach the pin. So this is going to be an interesting one. I mean, Toronto for the first time in GOLFZON Tour history this year with the back-to-back Eagles on one hole playing it 4 under par. I mean, wow. I'll see how they play out for the rest of the round because I don't see why they can't just feed off of that momentum.
Yeah, I'm aiming left just like they did. It's just hitting a high, buttery cut. Little too far left to get you in trouble. Got those fairway bunkers sitting there precariously out there, ready to gobble up a ball, and you do not want to be in the fairway bunkers at the old course at St. Andrew because they are deeper than insert something very witty and clever that is also deep. And that, Emma, is a metaphor.
I love metaphors, Landon.
Wish I could have given you one. All right, you get to see one of the most beautiful golf swings of your entire life here with Holly lining up. One a little over the top in fade, flash, slice. One a high buttery cut. Both of them missing their target a little bit far to the right. They're both going to be okay and having an approach shot or a birdie look. Largest approach shot we have right here is 170 yards. The rest of the teams have 150 yards and in 109-yard shot coming up from an absolutely humbled drive. Team Toronto.
That's right, Landon. I mean, out of Team Toronto, that David French, who we said has been playing since he was 4 years old, he won a provincial event and came top 10 at the PGA of Canada Championship. I mean, we have a few sticks in our midst, to say the absolute least.
These 2 birdie putts. 2 up, 2 on. let's see what Holly does here. She's in the light rough. Has that thick rough lie. Doesn't want to get a penalty, so places the ball in that rough lie. Let's see if she can't cut a nice shot in here. That is going to be another long birdie putt. Another birdie putt. 4 up, 4 on. So we already have 4 birdie putts already. So let's see if we can't go 6 for 6 with Team Orlando and Team Toronto shots.
Landon, it's definitely been really interesting. We talked about how St. Andrews, the undulations of the greens is the real separator between a good round and a great round, how you perform on those greens. So I feel like we have seen with the eagle putts that we saw from Team Toronto, obviously they had to step up and finish up those eagles, or they had to hit great shots in there to put them in position to make eagle, Landon. But I feel like at the end of the day, it's just really going to be about which team gets it done on the greens, because all 6 players are striking the ball beautifully. We got 6 birdie putts coming up here.
It's not back-to-back eagle putts, but 6 birdie putts is real good golf. First 2, oh, wow. Uncharacteristic. This from Holly, leaving herself 17 feet comebacker. And is going to still be out. Like I said, 3 worst words in golf, you're still up. He's laughing it off, though. Keeping it light in Orlando. I think that's what gave them the advantage last time, was their light-hearted attitude. We've found, Emma Carpenter and I, that the team that relax are able to kill some deals. We just saw that at a Team Toronto dropping that long birdie putt effervescently in the hole.
Sheesh, I mean, we have seen some insane use of the flat stick from Luke Moser. I mean, gosh, how about eagle birdie these last 2 holes?
You wouldn't kick that out of bed, would you, Emma Carpenter?
I
guess it depends on the bird. You know, if it's a screeching parrot, you might not want that. If you can eat a bunch of seeds in the bed, that's almost a guaranteed from Team Toronto, except Orlando.
Wow.
Looking at this back with a birdie of their own. Hopefully it's not a loud screeching parrot. Eating seeds and throwing out F-bombs in the middle of the night. That's what parrots do. Well, for my best friend Chase, another birdie from Team Orlando, and that is enough to push it.
That, I believe, Landon, that might be the first time on the GOLFZON Tour we've seen birdie. We've seen 4 birdies from the 2 opposing teams. I mean, 2 under par from both teams on that hole. I mean, they're really stepping it up.
We have been fully involved in this new generation of indoor golf and simulator golf. Core of our business is training great coaches. Byproduct of really good coaches are better golf lessons and more golfers that play the game. We've now created specific training for teaching indoors. We're finding a lot of coaches and a lot of demand for teachers to take those lessons inside. We're seeing a huge number of golfers entering the game through simulators. So we're seeing people who want to play golf who would never come to a golf course.
The fact that these kids that we have here day in, day out get to see that, yes, there is green grass golf. Yes, there are tournaments that you are trying to win on green grass, but there's also this whole other avenue that you might not have explored yet.
A golf simulator has no barriers, and there's no barriers to entry, which is what's so appealing. We know that we can get more golfers playing the game, especially beginners. We're seeing a huge uptick in new golfers learning to play golf, starting in a GOLFZON simulator. We're able to use indoor golf as a vehicle to get more people to participate, to have fun, to play, and I think the potential for growth that we see is enormous through the technology side of the game. I think there's a future for golf that is way broader than the traditional golf game has catered to. For us, it's the perfect marriage of modern technology and maybe modern culture with a very traditional game, and golf has to move with the times in order for it to stay relevant.
Landon, this action is nothing short of exciting and impressive. So let's take a look at hole number 7. I can't wait any longer.
All right. Well, then let's do it. We can't have you being impatient, Anima Carpenter.
I
Hole
just
number
can't
7.
wait to see what happens next.
Well, I think we're about to see it because that's how space-time works. 371 tasty yards. This one's called high. The most direct line to the green is towards the red flag on the 11th green, but you got to be aware of that shell bunker just short of the green because it is deep and it will swallow a Toyota Corolla absolutely whole. Team Orlando and Team Toronto both up with the big dog ripping out high buttery cuts, both of them. And just short.
Wow, I mean, Landon, you can't help but be really impressed with the T-balls from Team Toronto. Orlando has it as well. But I mean, yes, like I've mentioned, the ball striking from these 6 players is just phenomenal. Chris Wilson with the sneaky 3 under through 6.
Yeah, we're not seeing bad golf. That's an interesting little move that he has on his takeaway.
Yeah.
You think that he's just going to take it back smooth, but he hoists that club up to flatten out his swing plane. It seems like a move of somebody who was fighting a hook and is just trying desperately to get it out, or maybe that's just a little hitch in his swing that he's always had. See that power move by Geronimo, getting that hinge early, smoked him out there. 3 wood from him. Love to know how far this thing carries. 150. Let's read.
Here's Holly, Landon, stepping up back over at the same time. In Toronto, your boy Jace, the manager of Golfplay, he's got just 93 yards.
Ollie takes a really nice cut. 3 wood off the deck. Decided to go less than driver. Works out.
She didn't even need to watch it land.
No, not when you're that bulletproof. She's like Annika, just fairways and greens, full hump, 5 under.
Oh my!
Nice hard. Oh, little English on that saddle. On there. That thing bit harder than a Doberman. Somebody hopping a fence. That thing hopped the fence and bit hard into the green. Got a little kickback. I have about a 15, 16 footer for birdie. And not so shabby. Now he's only going to have an 8 footer. Goodness gracious. What a golfer he is. When you own a golf bar and grill, you'd hope that you can play the sport. Certainly he can.
Landon, my dad has always had dreams of owning a golf bar and grill, and he can play the sport by some standards.
Carpenter, you should try to get him into GOLFZON because they have one of the most accurate golf simulators on the market, some of the best graphics on the market, proprietary auto feed technology with auto tee. You have the moving swing floor plate go in 64 different positions. The new 2Vision system is just a spellbinding bit of technological marvel. You see the NX system that they're going to be playing in Orlando for $150,000. That's what this is all about. Little tushy taps. Team Toronto, absolutely beautiful shot that we did.
Wow, it's looking like Toronto is in pretty promising shape to make a couple of birdies there. Now this from Luke Moser. He's got about 40 feet for his birdie, but both of his teammates are inside of 9 feet as Chris Wilson steps up for his second shot just under 100 yards.
The cool thing about this tournament that I think is if you just are watching these and binging these matches, you can go to GolfZON Leadbetter and you can go to Golfplay in Toronto and go play these courses yourself and maybe even run into these fine gentlemen and ladies and buy them a libation, let them know that you're enamored by them.
I absolutely love that, Landon. It is so true. I mean, gosh, there are so many things that are special about this tour. How many times have you heard of two cities completely across the country or even in a different country able to play each other simultaneously like this, the way that GolfZone is able to provide? And like you mentioned too, these places are public places that you can actually go to. If one of these locations is near you, gosh, take a stop by. Perhaps maybe you can even try to be a part of the GolfZone team next year. We'll see.
Start hitting fairways and greens. If you've got a GolfZone in your area, you should try out for a team in the future. GolfZone Tour Season 2, hopefully coming to you live and in charge next year. We're going to see how these teams do and see who can end up in the finals playing for $150,000 live at the PGA show in Orlando. Orlando's not going to have to go far to be in Orlando for the finals, so let's just hope that their game is on fire and get it done. Holly with her birdie putt, never a doubt until the end, just slips out to the left. Triple par from Toronto. Don't beat yourself up, Holly, because that is not a high percentage make. That's just the level of perfection that she and these teams expect out of each other. When you start to get down into the finals, you're just going to be facing professional golfers 24/7. This is a must-make putt from Team Orlando, and guess what he does? Misses. Emma, you think that's what he was trying to do?
I don't think so, Landon, but just like that, Toronto wins another hole to get the match back to all square through 7 as they celebrate.
You love to see it.
Those spectators aren't going anywhere.
What's the match at now, Emma Carpenter?
All square.
No, but we're about to do a flyover. Do not get scared. It is a par 3, 174. Hopefully you're not afraid of heights. We are towering above this just absolutely massive, massive green. We are all square after 8 holes. Had a pull away from Team Orlando, and Toronto clawed that back like a polar bear stole a small seal, and the seal somehow got a roll of duct tape and a gun that got its baby back. Emma Carpenter, you ever seen a seal with duct tape?
Did you say a seal?
Forget it, Emma. It's a stupid question. Back to the action.
Landon, what do you think is the key to this par 3, hole number 8? Do you remember what you did on it when you played this course?
Which time, Emma? Can you get more of a pompous answer than which time? But no, the answer would be I have no clue. I'm one of those golfers that kind of like, unless I'm like going after a course record and just playing lights out. I don't remember, I don't remember anything at all. Like playing Kiowa or Whistling Straight or, Pine Valley or Font. I don't remember a single shot that I hit. When you're playing the legacy courses like St. Andrews, I've gotten to the point in my life, especially now as an adult, that you wouldn't understand being only 14 yourself, that if I'm playing one of these super elite lifetime bucket list courses, I won't even keep score anymore. Unless I think unless I go like 5 or 6 under after 6 or 7 holes, and I'm like, oh, I might be able to set a course record here. I'll keep a scorecard for posterity's sake, but I don't think that there's enough golfers that go out there, don't keep score, and just enjoy the round, enjoy where they are. Have you ever just gone out there and enjoyed the experience and not kept score, Carpenter? Or are you not one of those golfers that can do that?
Oh, I really wish I was capable of doing that, Landon. You have no idea, because it's funny how you say that you can't remember, because I could probably tell you almost every single shot of every single round of golf I have ever played, and we're talking thousands.
Yeah, and I'm so envious when you see these tour pros up there, and they're like, oh, tell us what happened on 7, and they're like, oh yeah, that's the long par 4. Like, if you asked me what happened on 7 on hole 11 during my round, I'd be like, which one was that? I used to have golf amnesia almost, but I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, because if I get a bogey, I don't remember. It's just instantaneously out of my mind.
I was gonna say, I think that's more of a blessing than a curse, the golf amnesia, being able to quickly forget.
Carpenter, we got another amazing scenario of 6 straight birdie attempts. First one's gonna miss short. All right, let's see if Holly can't stuff the first birdie putt. Up and away, and does not read that green correctly, and is just gonna miss to the right. Handsome putt nonetheless. Nice gauge of speed, just did not have the right aim.
Luke Mosier from 50 feet. And it goes 17 feet by.
Emma, are you hungry?
Am I hungry right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm always hungry, Landon.
Well, then you should head down to Golfplay Toronto, where they have a wonderful bar and grill. But I think it might be deleterious to your announcing, so you better just stay put and keep calling the match.
Oof. Very good putt from Jace. Just slides by, but let's see Geronimo from 25 feet. This is going to be huge if they want the win on this hole. It does not get that one done. It's going to come down to the comebackers, Landon.
Emma, have you ever eaten goose?
I don't believe so.
That's delicious. You should give her a try. Back to the action. Really nice putt. Up and just skirts it left. There's some sort of force field made out of barium or unobtainium, which is obviously a fictional metal from marble. Barium is a very real metal, so bear that in mind every time you walk out the course. Barium is out there. Nice putt from Toronto, buries it for par.
Here's Holly Clyburn for
Oh,
par.
Emma Carpenter, you and I are kinetically linked with our sports calling. Nice par. Take it away, Emma.
Holly rolls in that par. It is the par finish in Orlando, and that is a bogey putt over in Toronto. This putt from Jace for bogey Orlando will take the win with the par on hole number 8, Landon. Would you say this is a surprise that the scores were as high as they were on this hole?
Yeah, you wonder what the world's going on, but I like it.
Hole number 9, Landon, one of our signature holes. This is a real special one. The perfect line on this short par 4 is left of those bunkers. It may be that a putt from the fairway is the best way to approach this. This is a birdie opportunity, only 350 yards, but it'll be interesting to see how these two teams play it. Now, Orlando back to 1 up.
You hate to see it, Emma. You hate to see a team so polite, covered in maple syrup, riding in on a majestic bull moose be down, but they are not out. I think there's a lot of good golf still left at Team Toronto. But he's just going to hit this with fury of Poseidon. That is a man with club head speed, and that is the tricky thing. When you've got club head speed, you are getting your wrists through the ball, and he turned that one over into the junk.
Is that still playable from over there, Landon?
In real life, no, you're dead. I mean, dead. Dead. And there's tons of thorns in there as well. So, yeah, if you hit a ball in there, you tee up another and hit, because if you're playing in Scotland, this is another funny thing. So, second time that I played St. Andrews, there was a caddy that was out there, and I don't remember what hole it was on because I have golf amnesia. Nice hit from Ollie. She just drove the green because she is an absolute G. For a great golfer. So you just see this caddy storming past, walking the opposite way towards the clubhouse. We were walking out on the back or on the front nine. The caddy was just thundering down the fairway. And the one caddy calls out to the other one because maybe about 100 yards behind him, the golfer running, trying to catch him up. We're trying to catch up, saying, "Stop, man, stop." Caddy just kept going. The one caddy calls out to the other one and said, "What's going on, man?" In a Scottish accent, sounds like London to me. He said, "I told him 15 times, you don't bump in the rough at St. Andrews. We play golf here. Effing the Americans." And he just went straight to the clubhouse with the dude's clubs. He kept trying to cheat. And Scotland, you play the rules of golf at St. Andrews. And the caddy took the dude's clubs and wouldn't let him finish the round.
Wouldn't let him finish the round?
No, he was his caddy, and he kept bumping in the rough. And the caddy apparently warned him several times, "You don't do that at St. Andrews. Play St. Andrews, you play golf. If you hit a ball OB, you re-tee. If you can't find the ball, you go back to the tee box." And the guy had hit it in the rough apparently several times during the round. And the caddy warned him a couple of times, "If you do that again, man, I'm out of here." And he left with the dude's clubs. Wouldn't finish around. I don't know if he got his clubs back and ran back to join his group, but the caddy took his clubs.
Oh my gosh, that is
Craziest thing I've
hilarious.
ever seen on the golf course in my entire life.
Wait, you witnessed this?
I was there. It happened while I was there.
This was in your round.
Yeah, the second time I played St. Andrews, that happened. The craziest thing I've ever seen golfing in my entire life.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, we can rest assured that these players here are playing by the rules today. Gosh, I mean,
and I don't know if that was a unique thing to St. Andrews, because I don't remember asking the question, like, is that like a thing that happens in Scotland or specifically at St. Andrews, that you're supposed to play by the rules even if you're playing a casual round? And that's a very nice putt from Toronto. We're going to see him make birdie after birdie with the flat stick. If that's a specific thing, I mean, obviously when you play golf, very few American golfers actually play golf. They play casual, friendly golf, but they'll bump in the rough. If they're in a divot in the fairway, they won't play it out of the divot. They'll have gimmies, but you know, it seemed as if at St. Andrews, it was that person's mind's eye view that you better be playing per the rule.
No kidding. No
You ever
kidding.
seen
It's
something like that happen, Holly?
Have I ever seen something like that happen? How
Okay.
have I ever seen something like this from Toronto? Actually, yes, the birdie from Toronto. Wow. The team cheering on Luke Moser for his double bogey. You know what? That's why you got teammates, because they're there for you.
I
Well,
love
that
that
miss-
team in Toronto.
I do too. That miss from Chris Wilson from 9 feet will secure the win for Team Toronto to get back now to all square, heading into the back 9.
We got a really solid, deep squad. Like all 5 guys can go out there, shoot 10 under any given round.
We still ran the qualifying tournament just the way everybody else did. I threw in a couple rounds myself, was one of the top scorers, the lower scores. I did clarify with everybody, made sure it was okay. Everybody was pumping my tires a little bit and said that I should be on the team.
I started playing when I was 4. Dad got me into the game. Then right after university, turned pro.
I've been playing professional golf around here for 4 years and playing amateur golf since I was, 16, 17 years old. Being Canadian, obviously can't play for 6, 7 months out of the year, so was always looking to play golf anywhere, and this provides you with a great opportunity to keep the competitiveness going.
You get the same adrenaline going, you get the same stress. Been through it playing outside, same as inside, just kind of learn how to deal with that when time comes. I love the team atmosphere, especially for the playoffs where it's like a 3-count 2. Takes a little bit of the stress off, which is nice.
Having the great players that I have on the team with me, that I can rely on them and hit some great shots, that it's awesome. I mean, we got a great team. I'm excited to where this is going. It's been so much fun up until this point.
Nothing better than playing golf with your buddies, right? And now you're just doing it in a competitive atmosphere and trying to win some money in the meantime.
It's nice, since the golf simulator side of things is so big in Canada, it's awesome to be able to represent Canada when it comes to an international competition like this, and hopefully keeps growing in the future.
Landon, we head into the back 9, hole number 10, par 4, 386 yards. Toronto with the birdie yet again to win the 9th hole and bring it back. I mean, gosh, this has just been a yo-yo back and forth. This Bobby Jones hole. Bobby Jones had a relationship with St. Andrews.
Yeah, you did.
It's a subtle hole. It requires a well-placed drive just on the right.
But you're heading into the back 9, and this is just a bare-knuckle boxing match with barbed wire gloves between these two teams. Oh, just short of driving the hole. It's gettable at 341 yards, but you have got to have some club head speed or a stiff breeze. The wind doing on this hole at Carpenter?
It looks like it's a little hurt just off the right, but mainly across right to left wind.
Geronimo turns that one over again. He's gone hook off of the tee box.
Now here's Holly. Now she made birdie on the last, nearly drove the green and chipped it up, nestled it nice and close, made birdie. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to push even with the birdie finish from Team Toronto. Let's see her golf swing.
Automatic.
never a doubt.
Nope.
Didn't run out as much as she wanted it to. She said, is there a spin on my driver?
She hit that one little deep flighted, so you're gonna get less carry in the air. You get less juice on it. Get high and let it fly. They say that for a reason. The more you can swing up on your driver, the more you get that dynamic launch, get it up in the air. Oh, nice little hit from Steve Toronto. Listen to them hear each other on. You love to see that. They're just a powerhouse of positivity.
Here is Geronimo from just under 50 yards.
Wanted it, but didn't get it. Oh, getting better by the moment, though. Able to play that slope.
Didn't finish too bad. We're getting a cool look at Golfplay. Golfplay Toronto. 2 locations. One west of Toronto, Ontario. They've got 2 Vision, GDR, plus GOLFZON simulators. Golfplay says they provide a fun experience for both golfers and non-golfers alike. They can experience the challenging game with technology to help improve their skills. That's something also that non-golfers have, is the choice of using or playing the beginner courses and easier game formats. But you know, that was something that a couple of these players for Toronto said that they really do love about these simulators, the way that they can work on their technique. And how about that technique, Landon?
Textbook, beautiful shot. You know, you wonder if the cheering section is helping them or hurting them, because you know, with a cheering section, they can really rile you up and make you feel good if you're playing good golf. Nice save there, like Landon. That's going to be a easy kick in. So we got my main man Jace for birdie here. But if you're starting to play bad and you have a group watching you, you know, that negativity is now seeping into the group dynamic.
Landon, this from 73 feet about. Let's see what happens.
I like it. I like it.
I physically screamed, Landon. I mean, if he would have just rolled in that 73 footer, oh my goodness.
It would have been dope. And he's got a great putter stroke.
Well, we know, Landon, that actually your strengths on the physical golf course will translate exactly how they should onto these GOLFZON simulators. So you can tell that Jace has a really good putting stroke, and it's proving to serve him well on the sims.
Carpenter, remind me of my favorite statistic from GOLFZON, would you?
I absolutely can, Landon. It is 100% your favorite statistic. When I think of you, or when I think of this statistic, I should say, I think of you. It is that for the professional golfers who have competed on tour and also on GOLFZON simulators, that the discrepancy of all of their stats as a golfer, when we're talking greens and reg and putting and fairways and everything, it translated to a less than 1% difference from on course to GOLFZON. Did I say that right, Landon?
That's right. Yeah, the numbers on tour versus the number on GOLFZON were less than a 1% disparity. Now, tell me that simulator golf isn't like real golf, and I'll call you a liar straight to your face. There's going to be a push here in Orlando and Toronto. You think the time zone difference is bothering them at all?
I believe they're on the same time zone.
So then that answer would be no, and Landon, you're a bit sticky.
Yeah, they're on the same time zone. It's about 8 p.m., both in Orlando and in Toronto. Let's look at hole number 11, our second par 3 of the match. On the last par 3 that we saw, par won it. Reminder, this format is a 3-count 2, so 3 people play and the 2 lowest scores are counted. So 2 best scores were par to actually beat the opposing team. We'll see what we have here now, Landon.
I used driver on this hole. That is one fact that I do remember.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a dead in your face. I mean, just dead in your face. And fleeting, if I didn't. It was a little way ago. But yeah, that's the cool thing about St. Andrews is the wind and the weather is the defense of this golf course. It's a nice, bright, sunny, beautiful spring day at the Open. You're going to see a lot of mid to low 60s out of PGA Tour pros, but if that wind and that sleet, that just devastating, punishing conditions off that coastal breeze comes in, I mean, you could be hitting a 3-wood in par 3. It's bonk. I've played in Category 3 hurricane conditions in Carpenter.
Never. Have you, Landon?
Literally just describing a moment that I was. You got to work on your active listening.
That was a Category 3 hurricane?
Oh God, no! I was being a bit hyperbolic there. Have you ever played in crazy windy conditions? Let me just take it down a notch.
I sure have. I've actually played in a golf tournament where they decided to call it because 100-year-old pine trees were falling to the ground. I walked up. I was actually playing really well too. My college golf coach comes up to me. I was figuring out how to get the ball in the hole in the wind, but I mean, it was unbelievable. She walks up to me. I had about 120 yards to the pin uphill and said, "Hey, what club are you hitting?" I said, "I'm going to hit 4-iron. My 4-iron goes 205 yards. And she said, "I don't think that's enough." She said, "I do not think that is enough." I was playing it up over 80 yards.
Wow. Yeah, that's blustery conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, for a first in the GOLFZON Tour, but multiple times it's happened today, it's 6 people, either a tiny chip or putting for birdie. Again, these teams are just stick playing. Really, really good golf from both of these teams out there. That's why the match is so close right now. Heading into the 11th hole, par 3, 168 yards.
This green looks like a snake, Landon, the way it just swiggles.
Great call, Emma. Look at those beautiful puffy clouds. I love the course renderings here. The whole course at St. Andrews.
Chipping on the green, why not? It's it's not gonna leave a scuff on the green. So if chipping is in their best interest, these players are gonna go ahead and do it.
You know, if you got the game, play the game. Have you ever chipped on the green, Emma Carpenter?
Only one time. But I mean, it was scary. It was scary. I think I was a little bit too concerned about taking a chunk out of the green than I was about blading it.
Yep. That does make sense. Oh, just lips out bourbon. Landon's going to have 3 very makeable pars.
Geronimo taps in his par. And we've got a couple testers, 7 feet, 8 feet for par in Toronto. That one does not fall. Landon, that's par in Orlando. So these next 2 putts from Toronto are must makes for the par push.
Think they'll make them, Emma?
Woo! Well, that's an awfully good start.
Yeah, $10 to bet. You bet he's gonna make this? $10.
Well, I'm not much of a betting woman, Landon, but I would say he rolls this in with his putting stroke. I think he could close his eyes and roll it in.
Yeah, he has a beautiful control over his putter. Maintains the V and hit the back of the cup. He is great. Get another push.
All right, Landon. That is now through 11 holes. These teams are all square. This is hole number 12, par 4, 348 yards. The length definitely makes it gettable, but there's hidden dangers that lurk with the bunkers in the middle of the fairway. They're not visible from the normal tee. Carrying them is risky. So the safe option is to aim left side of the fairway, but I have a feeling that none of these players are about to take the safe option.
I hope not.
This Chris Wilson, Landon, out of Orlando, has just been automatic. Did that ball find the bunker? It looked like it might have.
You just hope that they don't find hell bunker on 17. I believe that's the hole that hell bunker's on.
Landon, it's interesting to see that that Orlando is actually all square with Toronto, because if you look at their individual scores, Chris Wilson 4 under par, Holly Clyburn 1 under par, Geronimo level par, and David French in Toronto's under par, but his teammates are both over par. So it's interesting to see if we were going by cumulative score, Orlando would have it by quite a few, but we've just seen Toronto show up when it matters and really ham and egging it really well if they have a teammate who's struggling to get it done.
Right. Of course, playing the championship tees with their plan plays at 7,100 yards at sea level. Got a course rating of 75.6. Those unfamiliar with course rating, you have a scratch handicap and you shoot 3 over par at St. Andrews, you are playing at your handicap. That's how hard they say this this course, with slope rating of 143 from the championship tees. You believe that, Emma Carpenter?
I do, Landon. I mean, I feel like you call this course gettable, which it definitely seems like it has some gettable holes, but it can get you. I mean, we just saw just now an OB ball out of Toronto, and now David French is going to have to take another rip at it. This one. Oh, no.
Wow. That was bad on top of bad. Sandwiched between 2 pieces of bad bread. A big squirt of bad for a condiment. What's your favorite condiment, Emma Carpenter?
Oh, that's a good question, Landon. My favorite condiment? Chick-fil-A sauce.
Oh, love you. Love you, respect you.
But if I could only have one condiment for the rest of my life, I would say ranch.
Oh, sure enough. A classic Midwest.
It just goes with too many things. How about you, Landon?
Some type of spicy aioli. My palate, it doesn't affect my spicy food, believe it or not. So the spicier, the better. I think I do real well on an episode of Hot Wings were I ever to find any sort of lower social following where somebody would want me on the show Hot Wings. I can gobble those hot wings up and have it not affect me all that bad. It makes for a very uninteresting episode. Great chip there, Holly. That's what people tune in for on the GOLFZON Tour, Emma. They think they're coming from golf, but they actually learn a whole lot about the host's palates. That is what this golf tour is all about.
Well, Landon, we've got 3 birdie putts coming up from Orlando. We know that David French is out of it, so that puts all the pressure on his 2 teammates. to finish out the hole strong.
Oh. Wow. Beautiful aim. Hit it a little too hard. Bounces off the back of the cup. I think we're going to see a showing from David Leadbetter. You think he's going to show up for one of these matches? The man, the myth, the legend himself?
That sure would be neat, Landon.
You ever meet Leadbetter?
I've never met him personally, but I've met his daughter, Hallie, a few times. She came on my podcast. She is awesome.
Did you live in the same city, or did you fly her out, or did you zoom in?
Zoom in. That Zoom, you know, it's part of what's helping us do what we're doing here today.
God bless you. Oh, loops out and to the right.
Now, you can actually tell, Lynn, and it's fun to watch, as soon as a player finishes up a shot, they always look up at the leaderboard to check to see where their opponents are at. It's very interesting to watch the players look intently at the screen to see what's going on over in the opposing city.
Oh, nice putt, Holly. Makes her bird. It was also a birdie putt in Toronto, but they miss it right and long. High fives all around for Holly. Team Orlando finding that mojo and the friendly camaraderie again. For those other two players that we see on the screen right now, Emma Carpenter, those are the round out the team of 5.
I
Must
believe
make it
so.
Toronto. No way this goes in.
Wow. You never want a must-make to be that long, Landon.
It's deleterious to success, Emma Carpenter. Everybody knows it. Got a lab golf putter there, a long broom-style lab golf, and he anchors it against his forearm there. People that get a little too handsy with their putting, just anchor it against your forearm and let your left arm just act like left face, and Orlando wins that hole. So if you're struggling at putting there at home, maybe try a broom-style putter. Take that face a little bit more out of play.
I started playing as a kid. My dad taught me when I was a baby, and I've been playing really my whole life. I was a pro for 6 months and realized quickly I wasn't good enough to be a pro, so I've been lucky enough to compete in amateur tournaments since then.
I turned professional like a year and a half ago. We have so many players on our team that are really good outside, and it's a little different inside.
This team is elite green grass golfers. Getting them into the sim and getting them to adjust, having guys that are already adjusted, huge advantage for us.
We had a team practice yesterday up here, but being 3 hours south, I didn't come up for it. But I did find a GOLFZON location near me and just went and practiced for 3 hours. And you know, you can build a lot of confidence on these sims.
Luckily enough, I've had a little bit of experience indoor golf, but I have been lucky enough to play on LPGA and the European Tour as well as caddied on the LPGA. So I've got a little bit of golfing knowledge and golfing background to me.
In college, I was a freshman captain of the golf team. I was captain for 3 years, and I've been captain of hockey teams before. Definitely a big team guy, and that in itself is also what drew me towards this.
I'm a very team guy. I was a basketball player before I was a golfer. You know, we like to have fun, but we also, when it's time to hunker down and go play, we're ready to play.
To have all these people willing to chip in and work together to get to that goal of winning $150,000, it's been incredible. I couldn't be more proud of them.
All right, Landon, 12 holes down, 6 holes to go, and Orlando gets it back to 1 up. But we have seen some pretty phenomenal golf here today. I would say that this is the most solid golf that we have seen so far on the GOLFZON Tour. All 6 players showing up really, really well. Landon, tell us about hole number 13.
I'd rather not, Emma. Back to you. Just kidding. Hole number 13. It's a par 4, 465 yards. Look at this wordplay. They call this one Hole O Cross. And why? Because you have a large gap on your approach shot. Now we're finally starting to see some real chip golf. 434 yards. You're going to have to hit a very strategic drive. Then you have a large precipice that they're going to have to carry to hit that green. Got those crazy bunkers right in the middle of the fairway. I love golf designers that kind of lay out their golf course a little Looney Tunes style and just put pot bunkers willy-nilly just about everywhere. You put them in the middle of the fairway, right around the greens, in the men's bathroom even sometimes. Crazy place for a pot bunker? I think not. Carpenter, you ever seen a pot bunker in a ladies' restroom?
Personally, I have not.
Makes a lot of sense. It's a ridiculous place for a bunker to be.
I did, though, Landon. My college golf coach found a rattlesnake in a on-course bathroom one time when we were at a tournament in Arizona.
It's a lot more sense than a pot bunker.
It does. Nor are fun, though. Nor are something that you would like to find.
I've only been paying light attention to this match. Can you let me know how these two teams rank as far as ability heading into this match? I know we had that conversation, but as I told you, I have golf amnesia.
Well, sure thing, Landon. I mean, I tell you what, if Orlando is able to pull out this win today, Toronto has never had a lead. They have never had a lead. They have only just cut back Orlando's win or gotten it to all square. Orlando currently sitting 1 up, and if they do finish out this round on top, that is a huge upset alert. We know that Orlando has a talented team, but with Toronto and all of their professional golf experience, and we've seen glimpses of absolute greatness, multiple birdie finishes. We saw that back-to-back eagle finish early on the front 9. So it's just a matter of whether or not Toronto can continue to show those flashes of greatness, or if Orlando is just going to keep on keeping on. They're just plugging away. They're playing solid golf through and through, and it might get the job done, which would be a huge upset alert.
You hoping to see an upset, Emma Carpenter?
You know, it's always...
Great shot at it.
Everyone loves an underdog. Everyone loves an underdog, but Toronto, I really do love their energy. How Orlando's bringing it as well. Look at the team chatting it up. They're cheering on Geronimo. Geronimo's having an awesome day. Chris Wilson is having an awesome day at 4 under par, and Holly, as per usual, she's under par as well. So, but Toronto, they definitely have the energy as well. They're bringing the positive vibes and just hopefully able to carry on some of that mojo that they've got from their real extra impressive holes on the front.
Best score we see on the board right now is a 4 under, followed by Holly's 2 under, a couple even pars, 2 over, and a 5 over. And a 5 over, a tragically bad score after 12 fully played holes, but that 4 under is a beautiful 50-foot birdie putt at a team Toronto, 43.96 feet to be exact. You're the type of person who enjoys accurate stats. I personally like round numbers because they scare me less. And here's a round number for you. Almost 18 feet past the hole on that one. Man, Holly's swing is just a thing of textbook beauty.
I could definitely take a page out of her book, Landon.
What are you talking about? She models her swing after yours, Emma Carpenter. That one day she hopes to grow up and be as wonderful and as in high school as you are.
Oh gosh, Landon, that's real nice of you. I have only hit the ball as straight as Holly one time, and it was in a dream.
Oh, what a beautiful putt. In the heart.
Boom!
He has not he's not missed a putt today. That Luke Moser is unbelievable. What do you expect? The Mo Show.
Now Holly, Landon, from 47 feet. Not doing much left to right wise, but let's see. In Toronto, here is Jace for his birdie putt. This would be birdie for Toronto.
Great putt by both of them. Holly was pretty disappointed by making that, but she should not be, because that make percentage on the tour is probably hovering around 3 or 4% from that far out. Holly, you just cheer up, girl.
It's
Sitting
hard,
on the winged
Landon.
angels. You believe in angels, Emma Carpenter?
Well, I sure do.
God bless your heart. Love that about you. Oh, boy. Team Orlando just lipping it out. Gave that a whole halo, if you know what I mean, Emma.
I always know what you mean, Landon.
That's what makes you one of the best in the business, because most of the time I don't even know what I mean.
Yeah. Here's Geronimo. He taps in his birdie nice and easy. You know, it's so interesting to watch the demeanor of these players.
That's going to be a push with Orlando and our friends to the north. Those crazy Canucks. Emma Carpenter, why don't you tell us about 14?
I sure will. Thank you. I sure will. Hole number 14, par 5, 614 yards as Orlando remains one up. 5 holes left to play. That is not short, Landon.
No, 614 yards is not short. That is why they named this hole long. Got OB wall on the right. And I have a feeling that at least one of these teams is going to find the OB off the tee box. Why do I think that? I don't know. I'm just like mischief. Oh man, Geronimo's got to talk to his driver and tell it hooking works for me no more. The junk going to disturb some sort of beetle or butterfly out there. Back to back cosmically average drives. See a good drive out of one of these teams. Come on, Chris. Show them what it can do.
Wow. He's not holding back.
Yeah. A little pulse hooky, but he's going to get away with it.
I wish I hole hooked the golf ball into the fairway, or maybe just the second cut, 307 yards.
That. As long as you're not in that center strip, you're good to go, but crazily enough, 3 golfers have already found it. 2 of the best drivers of the golf ball from Orlando and Toronto. Let's see what they can't do. I'm just going to like where that one ends up.
Attaboy Frenchie, they say. He finds the middle of the fairway over in Orlando. There's Holly. Holly's just not used to going anywhere but the dead center of the fairway, Landon. I think that's all that is.
Yeah, the problem is she did not get the memo that in the center of the 2 fairways, the landing strip of junk. Your ball ever found the junk, Emma Carpenter?
Oh, never. Never, never.
Love that about you.
Here is the manager of Golfplay, Jace Wary. He did not play college golf, which is almost hard to believe. Watching him swing the golf club, he's a lot like you, Landon. Didn't play in college, but can still bring a golf course to it.
And the stick. That's It's really cool to see all of these people who got into golf during COVID, just saw it as an elitist sport full of pompous, arrogant know-it-alls, but then they get out there trying to get some sunshine during COVID and realize that they have a love for this beautiful, beautiful game. And not only can they love it in the summer, but they can find a GOLFZON simulator and love it in the winter too. And you see a lot of these golfers kind of emerging and becoming scratch golfers just in the past couple of years during COVID. I can name you many people that have never golfed, picked it up during COVID and are already scratch handicapped in just 3 to 4 years. Put in the time, if you put in the effort, it is attainable, folks. You just got to work hard, surrender to the process, be okay with a bad shot, just never give up. I love that move from Team Toronto, his little forward shaft lean into impact. Watch how he cuts this ball. Dude, beautiful. Beautiful. Good golf, man. I think those are probably the 2 best golfers out here. 3 eagle looks in Toronto. Now, this hole normally plays 600 yards. It is playing 520 for these players. So, not the championship tees. Thank goodness, because you would have to go driver to have any chance.
And we've seen this Jace Wary up putting now. We've seen him go driver before, which resulted in an eagle. And why not another? Oh my goodness. 2 eagles, 1 round.
Give that man a pink starburst because he has got it going on.
Landon, you know what one of my favorite things about Jace Wary is?
It's general demeanor. I don't know. He's wonderful.
Well, you see, that's a good answer because he is a guy who is all about team morale. He's got a few 2-man tournament wins. One as an amateur, one as a professional. He won a pro-am at a local private course. That it's one of the longest running pro-ams in the country.
That's
one of the top clubs
Jace?
in the country. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But his wins, he's got multiple wins at 2-man events. I mean, talk about a guy who is all about the team.
And that's the type of guy that you want as your teammate. He's wonderful. He's enigmatic. He's a great putter, and he fit into most overhead stored pins.
He has shot 12 under par multiple times in GOLFZON online tournaments. I mean, wow. He's a GOLFZON lover.
You say that score again, Emma Carpenter?
12 under par.
Multiple 12 under.
Mm-hmm.
A very low percentage putt to make, but he is one of the best players out here, if not the best player out here. 4 under right now. Nice zippy little chip out there from Ron.
It's uphill. This should be uphill.
All right, Toronto just finished up birdie eagle. David French.
Come on, Frenchie. Yeah, that's a birdie eagle.
Little nail in the coffin. This means that Orlando needs to sink an eagle putt. An eagle putt in order to tie this hole. This putt from Chris Wilson.
You know what I'd really like to see, Emma Carpenter?
What's that?
I'd just really like to see all 3 shots from Chase again, back to back to back. I wonder if we could get the booth to make that happen. This is a must-make from Holly for a push. I know I'm trying to put a whole lot of workload on our technical team, but man, do I want to see those 3 shots from Jace again.
Sometimes, Landon, if you just ask nicely, magic things can happen.
Dear Lord, sweet baby Jesus, please let me see those 3 shots again. Holly, can
Holly.
you do it? You can.
Oh my goodness!
When she needed it most, now it's going to rest solely on the back of a teammate to make a birdie. Oh man, Geronimo, you do not want to miss this after Holly just made that eagle. That will take some of the wind out of the sails from Team Toronto. This is for the push.
I'm nervous.
Good be center of the cup.
Wow.
Wow, that is deflating.
Oh my goodness. Landon, if you would have told me that there was going to be a pushed hole with birdie eagle, and look, if you would have told Toronto too, look at their reaction. If you would have told either of us, we would have said, I do not believe you. I mean, eagle birdie does not get a win done in this match today on the Golf Zone Tour. I can't even believe it.
Emma Carpenter, we've been seeing some unbelievable golf. Good God, talk to me about what we just saw.
Oh, Landon, I mean, what we've seen over the course of this entire match has been impressive, but these last couple of minutes, I don't know what's more impressive. The fact that Jace Wary rolled in this second eagle putt of the round today to get his team to an eagle birdie finish on the hole, or the fact that Holly Clyburn knew she needed to roll in this 25-foot eagle putt, tosses in the fist bump to push the hole to stay one up. I mean, Landon, I am just overwhelmed with how impressive of golf that was.
I'll give you some of my NyQuil to calm you down. Emma Carpenter, hole number 15 is what they're going to be facing, 455. They called this one Heart Gate. Just look at it. You got pot bunkers right in the middle of the fairway there. Pot bunker in the front, most likely a pot bunker in the halfway house, trying to trap somebody who needs to use the bathroom in the middle of this hole. Hopefully nobody needs to, and they can hold their bladder so they don't end up with their shoes covered in sand. Back to the action, Emma Carpenter. What did we just see at I know.
Geronimo right down the gut, right up the gut, right down the pipe. I mean, just absolutely pummeled one, as we've seen a lot today. He's definitely a player that we've seen can lose the driver a little bit. Chris Wilson, the quiet 5 under par. Like I said, I mean, I hate to beat a dead horse, Landon, but Chris Wilson is 5 under par. Holly Clyburn is 4 under par. Geronimo Esteve is 2 under par. I mean, they are a combined 11 under par as a team. It's actually quite amazing that Toronto has held them off to being only 1 up.
Nice pass from Team Toronto, but it's going to end up running through the fairway. He just had a little too much pepper on that delicious flank steak. You like flank steak, Emma Carpenter?
Oh, of course I do.
Yeah, everybody knows that about you. It's all over the message boards. Nice pass, Holly, but cannot get it back toward his feet, but it will not listen. Oh my goodness, Team Toronto with a 345 scud running, a heat-seeking missile of sexual positivity. Wonderful drive. That has to be a Golf Zone record so far for long drives, unless we go out there and play the plantation course at Kapalua, where you go out there and pump one 450 on number 8. I don't foresee a longer drive than that happening for quite a few rounds.
Now, Landon, Orlando still remains 1 up. What we just saw on the last hole might have just won it for them, but we have to remember there's still 4 holes left to be played, or 3.5 holes, I should say. Really, anything can happen.
Remind me where the match stands right now, Emma.
Orlando remains 1 up. This Holly, the ball a little bit below her feet, but I mean, truly, Toronto Toronto hypothetically could win this hole, and then if they win the next 3 holes, then they wouldn't even go to 18. I mean, if Orlando wins a couple holes, then they could win 3 and 2. It's just
So many permutations. Emma Carpenter, so little time.
I know, and the action does not stop. That's what's so cool about the GOLFZON Tour is they are on to the next hole. You don't even have to wait until they walk to the tee, and you don't even have to wait for the other team to play. They're doing it all at once, not wasting any time.
So true. So true. Little cheering section from Team Orlando, just like the doctor ordered.
Landon, if you had to guess what was going to happen in this match, what would you say?
I was going to say that there was going to be some sort of old-timey barbershop quartet that would come in and interrupt the match, riding in on a unicorn cup in apple butter. But I do have a very active imagination, said my childhood therapist. What would you expect, Emma?
I would expect that putt to go in 45 feet, the longest of the day.
Was that? I thought somebody dropped a 75-footer.
Nearly. Jace Weary nearly dropped a 75-footer. But that from Luke Moser.
Tragic golf amnesia. What a terrible. No.
What?
A new record.
67 feet. What?
Decimating a 45-foot record that we just saw before. That record now is shattered by 20 feet. He says, hold my NyQuil. I've got a little more work to do. 2 more birdie putts back to back here. Let's see if we can't just see this wildly good flat sticking we've been seeing. That got a curl in at the... Oh, we wanted to see that, didn't we, folks? Just unbelievable putting we've been seeing. Been seeing some action, Emma Carpenter.
We sure have. Nothing short, Landon. I mean, just phenomenal. It's seeming like these players walk up to a putt knowing that if they don't make it, there's a good chance they're not going to win the hole. Oh no, you had to have that one there in Toronto.
He missed it. I'm pretty sure he just missed his. All right, Team Reed.
Landon, if Geronimo rolls this in, despite that absolutely electric birdie that we saw from Luke Moser, if Geronimo rolls this in, Orlando will be 2 up with 3 holes to play.
Oh boy. Make it? I do not. He's going to miss it on the low side and short.
Oh.
Low side, but long. What a terrible call.
Wow, it was a beautiful call, Landon. I thought he had it high enough too.
Well, a beautiful call is a call that was right, and I was wrong. Very
You
nice.
were right. You said low side.
That low side and short, that was low side and long. That was not my call in the Carpenter. You gotta work on those active listening skills. They call you the best in the business if she would only just listen. Lay out, Emma. You just lay out. Get a nice suntan. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason the Gladiator is #1 at the box office, because we got the Gladiators screaming, "Are you not impressed?" Let's just see a couple of putts from downtown Judy Brown that won the record for longest putt. The first longest putt comes from Team Toronto as it goes end over end down into the belly of the beast in the Marianas Trench, a 45-foot putt. He's feeling good about himself. He flexes, says, "Dad, you shouldn't have left when I was 9 years old." But then Team Orlando steps up there and says, "You know what? I don't care about that. 45 feet isn't that long. I've got a pet python that's over 45 feet long. How long exactly, might you ask? Well, that length is none other than 67 feet. My dad never left. High fives all around. You're not invited to my 10th birthday.
GolfZone is sort of, to use a Canadian reference, it's Gretzky versus the rest of the league. There is just a big gap between GolfZone and whoever you think is second.
There are some incredible things you can do indoors that you can't do outdoors. So you can literally drop a ball on a GolfZone simulator anywhere on a golf course and practice shots in from that location. You practice different lies on the swing plate. And then you layer onto the top of that, every shot is tracked with 2 camera angles, with ball data. I think it just enhances the whole learning experience for a golfer.
It's surprising how big a group there are out there who are golf curious, who are just curious but afraid to start, don't know where to begin even. GolfZone is a fun experience, and the interface, the graphics, you know, the butterfly explosion after a birdie, all those things add up to layer on more fun for people. It's not a dry experience like you might imagine a golf lesson might be.
The work that GolfZone is doing and tournaments that they're putting on, I think is what will increase participation in golf far, far greater than anything else that is available in the sport. Is that we're able to use indoor golf as a vehicle to get more people to participate, to have fun, to play, and I think the potential for growth that we see is enormous through the technology side of the game.
Emma Carpenter, back to you.
Well, Landon, I'll tell you what, I think what's most impressive about this as we look at hole number 16, par 4, 418 yards, this one is a treacherous tee shot out of bounds to the right and cluster of bunkers over on the left. Layup could be an option. As the route to the right is famously described by Jack Nicklaus as strictly for amateurs.
Jack Nicklaus, no. Emma Carpenter, what are we facing as far as a match right now? Could you just give me a little bit of rundown of where the match stands, what we're playing for goodness sakes? What's on the line, for goodness sakes?
Well, Landon, I would do anything for you. As just that ball skips over the bunker in Toronto from Luke Moser, who we saw rolling that putt. Wow. But Landon, I think what is most impressive to me is the way that Orlando knew what was on the line back to back. We saw it from Holly when she rolled in that eagle putt, and then we saw it on the very next hole from Chris Wilson when he rolled in that 67-footer. Now, both of those players knew what had happened in Toronto immediately before, so that means that they are under that immense pressure and they perform. I think that's just what's the most remarkable thing about it all.
And it's the pressure. That's where it gets you. I'm excited to see how the GolfZone renders the hotel hole where you have to hit over that super cool wall. They call that the road hole, don't they? Is that the road hole? Number 17?
You're right. Yep, absolutely right. Good memory.
Nice buttery cut from his smooth swing. Maybe we should probably call her Dr. Smooth Swing. He just hits it 260 yards, splitting that thing in half every time. Got this guy. Oh, yeah. Are you a bit blown away that the number 1 ranked team is that just manhandling Orlando?
You say that for me one more time, Landon? The number 1, what is it?
Number 1 seeded team going into this match is not manhandling Orlando. They're actually down. They had a bye, didn't they? They had a bye. They played so well in this matches.
That's right. They did. And that this is their first match. I think that Orlando is at a little bit of an advantage solely that this is not their first match on the GOLFZON Tour. Now, they competed in stroke play for seeding purposes, but now Orlando already has one win under their belt, gave them a little bit more confidence. I mean, they're playing spectacularly well, much better than they did in the first match. Toronto, we know that there are some really good players, but gosh, Landon, now Orlando 1 up with 3 to play. Toronto is in fabulous shape on this hole number 16. And I mean, I'm starting to get nervous because it's just going to feel like a heartbreaker no matter what happens.
That's the truth.
How about this, Landon? The team at Golfplay in Toronto is a combined even par, while a combined 2 over par. And the team in Orlando, there are a combined 12 under par.
Well, that's bonkers.
That's a 14-stroke difference, and yet only 1 hole. That's just the nature of the game in a 3-count-2 format. All 3 players have counted and not counted in Toronto. Whenever someone struggles, the other 2 seem to show up. As opposed to in Orlando, they're just all playing really solid.
Carpenter, are you giving Holly's 4 underscore to Team Toronto? How in the world are you coming up with that math?
12 under par. Chris Wilson at 6, Holly at 4, and Geronimo at 2 under. That's 12 under par for Team Orlando.
Is Chris Wilson from Team Orlando?
Yes, sir, he is.
Thank God you're here. God, you're here, Emma Carpenter. Oh, there's a bird. It's so wild because with all of this energy, you know what? I'm just getting sucked into the vacuum of all of this energy from Team Toronto. They seem like the ones that are 12 under, not Team Orlando playing ho-hum country club.
That's what is just so unbelievable. Wow, birdie from Team Toronto. That means that Orlando is going to have to match.
I bet it'll go in.
Wow. She needed that putt for a chance to push.
I have never seen more putts drop. It's like they put on a cheat code. Like Tiger Woods 2002 stuff. Where he gets mad of missing a 95-footer. Just unbelievably good golf.
Now this is a must-make, Landon, from Chris Wilson, who's already 6 under par natural if this goes in. Orlando pushes. Wow.
Wow, they are just sucking the wind out of the sails of Toronto.
And it's every hole, Landon. This is 3 holes in a row. I mean, it was birdie eagle, birdie birdie, and now birdie birdie again. Landon, we're coming up to the iconic 17th road hole. Orlando is 1 up. A win on this hole means the match is over. Now, in your experience, what would you say is the toughest thing about finishing out a competitive match?
Emma Carpenter, I'm going to toss that one back to you because I do not like playing competitive golf. Why don't you answer that question? Because you are the collegiate golfer, team format champion, 1v1, bring it on. I love competition. You tell me, Emma, for goodness sakes, you're the authority.
Yeah. Well, Landon, you are a much better golfer than me, but I'll tell you, in my experience of playing match play, the thing is you just can never get in a mindset of all you have to do is X, Y, Z, whatever it is. You have to keep your foot on the gas, and Orlando has done a very good job. Although they have been controlling this match the entire time, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it and it's the home stretch, You got to keep your foot on the gas and you got to close it out. They cannot be thinking that they can coast their way to victory. As we look at hole number 17, 495 yards. This is such a great hole to decide the match. A push makes Toronto dormy. A win from Toronto means anybody can take it on 18. This whole match, all the great golf that we have seen, all boils down to this.
Yeah, I tell you, they installed a big wall there because of people pegging that hotel, but this is an intimidating hole when you're actually there playing live. You're just looking at that giant wall in front of you, just thinking, man, I really hope I don't hit one of the cars in the parking lot of that hotel. You wouldn't be worried about that, Emma Carpenter.
No, one time I was playing with a group of people and we were coming down on the 18th hole at a separate golf course, and this guy hits this ball so far right and right into the parking lot, and the second it came off his club face, he said, "Please hit a Honda." He knew that there were so many expensive cars in that lot. He said, "Please hit a Honda."
That's funny. Yeah, they built that wall. I don't remember what year it was, but yeah, now it says Old Course Hotel with a website. If memory serves, is there now, not iconic view that you saw in years past. Apparently, the hotel was sick of suing golfers, so they decided to build the wall.
Now, Landon, I can't help but think par fives definitely lend themselves in the favor of Toronto with these long hitters. We've seen lots of eagles be made over up in Canada.
A compact swing, but he has made it work. All that Orlando has to do, I'm sure Emma's already said it, but due to the NyQuil kicking in, we're facing a Orlando win. This match is over. So Toronto needs to do literally everything they can to win this hole so that they can bring it back to scratch even, so that they can just give you guys a titillating 18th hole winner take all. Hopefully we don't go into overtime, because we'd love to see this thing close out in regulation on the wire and with ample opportunity for tons of drama, and we've been seeing it all day. You lose and push with birdie, birdie, eagle, eagle, birdie, eagle, eagle, birdie, 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 eagle, eagle. It's just bonkers amount of putts dropped today. Isn't that right, Emma Carpenter?
That's absolutely right, Landon. It'll be interesting to see what happens on this hole. We haven't seen really any shots within close birdie range. And
now, watch this thing land on the wings of Inglewood. Well, Carpenter believes him. Yeah. One of the best shot callers in the business, Dr. Landon Ashworth. Don't kick him out of bed, because he knows how to call him. What a beautiful shot there. That fluffy, light rough. He's going to have to sling one in there close. It's going to miss the whole left and short. It's a nice kick rollout there. 8 yards left. 8 times 3 is 24. That is how many feet you're going to have per hole.
nice.
A little mental math for you.
Well
Don't be
done.
too impressed, Emma Carpenter. I pulled out my calculator app. Going to be a battle of the chippers. Even Jason is short game magic. Don't worry, no matter how far these balls end up away from the hole, it is bonkers how good these teams are putting. Orlando's going to need to pull out a very lengthy birdie putt. Get excited by taking this hole over, but I do not foresee this happening with the undulation on this green.
You never know, Landon. Their best bet is Chris Wilson, who's 26 feet. We saw him roll in a 67-footer earlier. Never say never, but you're absolutely right. This green is different. With the undulations and the slopes, Team Toronto is looking to be in really, really good shape with, David French less than 3 feet for birdie.
Yards it.
David French, Landon, who played golf at University of British Columbia with that short birdie putt. This from Chris Wilson, a must make. Oh.
Man, wouldn't it be crazy if Toronto made this short little birdie putt they have left to make it all square going into 18? That's what they need. This is a must make to get it to all square. Never a doubt. All square. Heading into 18. You're going to see a blowout. Orlando has controlled the trajectory of this match until Team Toronto said, hold my maple syrup. Time to go a Mountie hunting. Onto their trusty bull moose they went with Ryan Reynolds. They went and bought a British soccer team. Decided we're in control of this match. And now we're going into 18. I'll just let you know what's going to happen. Emma Carpenter, they're going to pump some drives. They're going to put one real close. Probably going to push with a birdie par, likely birdie, but I have a feeling that we're going to go into extra holes.
Oh boy,
That's my call.
boy. Boy, oh boy, Landon. I mean, I would honestly say that my heart is breaking a little bit for Orlando, how good a golf they're playing, how far under par all of them are, and now they find themselves just up against the wall on hole number 18.
13 under as a team, correct?
That's absolutely correct. 13 under as a team Orlando is, but it has them at all square going into the iconic 18th hole. 356 yards. Hole number 18, Tom Morris. Drive for the clock on the clubhouse. The road across the fairways is an integral part of the course. Valley of Sin is the final hazard. And this is perhaps the most putted green in all of golf. We haven't seen a lot of three putts here today from either team.
Oh, they are cheering it on. No way does he drive this green. Get out of town, you absolute beast. What was his club head speed on that, Emma? Did you happen to catch his club head speed?
I sure wish I would have. I was too enamored with watching where the golf ball went. I mean, my jaw hit the floor, Landon. I don't know if you heard, but
It is effect on both women and men alike. Geronimo has a nice tasty pass too. That is not even close to the distance Team Toronto put out there. Club head speed 114. A nice pass, but long, but not long enough. See what Holly can't do. She is facing, let's see what her yardage is, 342. Just let you all know at home there. Well, if you happen to be on a vacation somewhere, I don't know where you are in the world. It's also none of my business. Whatever team wins this hole, win the match. And one step closer to $150,000. Toronto has never won in 18 holes, been ahead, but they could win it by winning this hole. Does it just hit your heart pumpitating? Emma Carpenter.
It definitely does, Landon. Like I said, I mean, gosh, you can't help but be excited for whichever team that pulls out this win today. But boy, would it be heartbreaking for Orlando having the lead the entire time.
Great job by Team Orlando. That's what they need. Well, that's going to be way short. Oh, this is not a green that you want to be short on. Most 3-putted green on the entire golf courses, hole number 18. And I can attest, it is a very big, very undulating green.
How many putts did you have on this hole, Landon?
Which time, Emma?
Oh, how about this shot?
No matter what your answer is, I won't remember. Golf amnesia.
Here's
Playing a
Luke Moser.
Playing a course like St. Andrews, you just got to soak in the fact that you're standing on a tee box that Tiger Woods, Old Tom Morris, and most likely George Washington himself have stood on. Wow, that is going to be two makeable birdie putts with Team Toronto. I cannot just wait for the maple syrup, 60-liter of maple syrup that they're going to be drenched in when they win this. You know, like the NFL teams when they dump Gatorade on them. I have a feeling in Toronto they dump sticky maple syrup on people. Come on, Toronto. No, wait, this falls. Great putt. Ooh, hit the brakes. That's a great putt. At 13 feet left. Thought that thing was going to hit the brakes. Holly. You've got to make this, Holly. Don't forget that there is an eagle putt from Frenchie. Birdie putt in Orlando. Eagle putt in Toronto. Not by the takeable eagle putt. Great putt from Holly and Team Orlando, and did they need it? They can make this eagle putt. It's over.
Oh boy.
Too much pepper. That would have fallen if you would have taken a little bit of steam off of it.
Goodness.
I have a feeling, like I called it, it's going to be birdie, and a push. That's what I'm feeling. Birdie putt in Orlando, and I think there's a par putt from Jake's. Oh my God, makes it on the back door. 2 cards. Okay. 2. Must makes. Frenchie putting for bird. Ollie again is already in birdie. And Orlando is in for birdie par right now. Facing a birdie putt from Geronimo. Oh no, that could be the match.
Oh boy.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
I called
Geronimo.
it birdie. It's going to be a birdie par push. We're going to be going into extra hole. I have a feeling. Unless he misses this 5-footer, and then it's just straight up over. Now, heartbeat. Gonna go birdie par, extra holes.
Now it looks like push, Landon. Wow.
Boy, is he a shot caller or what?
Landon, a very exciting match is giving us a fitting, exciting finish, moving us into extra holes with the birdie par push on the final hole. Let's take a look at what has brought us here. It has been an absolute putting clinic, partly starting with this bomb of an eagle we saw from Jace Wary. and his teammate followed it up. Followed to the bottom of the cup for the eagle to win this hole. But that wasn't the last eagle that we saw today. How about Holly Clyburn from long range and the fist pump as well down the stretch, as well as Chris Wilson from way downtown all the way from the parking lot. 6-7 feet record-breaking putt. I mean, it was just went on forever and then found the bottom of the cup. And without further ado, we gotta look at this one more time. I mean, just an absolute monster drive.
128 club head speed. Wow. Bonkers. Welcome back to delicious, tasty, scrumptious, and nutritious hole number 1. Par 4, 375 yards still. You saw it here at the beginning of the match, and we're back to it. You got that little freak running in front that I've hilariously hit a chip into from about 10 yards out. Let's hope both of these teams do the same so we both suffer from the same mediocrity. Emma Carpenter, I said exactly what would happen on the last hole. You tell me exactly what's going to happen on this one.
Oh boy, Landon. It is really tough to say. I mean, so let's talk format a little bit here. It's been a 3-count-2 all day, but it will be all 3 scores counting for this sudden death playoff. Gosh, I mean, you gotta think that the momentum is in favor of Toronto, but I wouldn't even necessarily say that. It was just the win on 17 that got them to where they are. All 3 scores are gonna be counting, Landon. So with that said, I gotta say that I think Orlando is gonna take this one. I mean, it genuinely could go either way. But just with the way from top to bottom Orlando has been playing, all 3 players under par. Holly shooting her personal best of 5 under par on Golf Zone. Chris Wilson with the 7 under par. I mean, I think that if all 3 scores are counting, you got to think that Orlando is going to keep it up.
There's any golf course to shoot your best score ever, it is the old course at St. Andrews on a windless day. I'll tell you that. Wide open fairways, gigantic green, a gettable golf course until that wind starts kicking up. Not a single golf ball has found the little meandering stream there. They're all in a safe place. I think we're most likely going to see 6 birdie putts again. I do not doubt that with any fiber of my being.
David French second shot. With how wide this fairway is, it may just all come down to these shots. Oh my goodness!
That should be a guaranteed birdie for Team Toronto. Remember, all 3 scores count. All 3 scores. Just saw some of the most forward shaft-lean that you're bound to see today. That man compresses
my gosh! The way that Orlando just continues to match what Toronto does is just amazing. Time after time, hole after hole.
Group 1, oh, that's going to be another real close one. Oh, but he has a little English on his. 3 for 3. They are pin hunting. Crazy if Holly just hold this out.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Wouldn't either, but it's going to end up tragically short, I think. Not tragically. 12 feet.
Definitely not tragically. Yeah, only about 12 feet. Is that tragically short for you, Landon?
No, not at all. In the air, it looked like that thing was just barely going to undulate on the green, but it found second gear. Just a That's a textbook terrible call for me.
It is battle of the putters. Let's see what Chris Wilson does. Oh my gosh. Another solid shot.
I think we're going to see 6 birdie putts. 6 straight birdie putts. So it is going to be a competition of the putters. I have a feeling that we're going to see a birdie push. Possibly I think it's going to be a birdie par push. Oh, ooh. Just hits it a little too hard. But that was the longest birdie putt that Team Toronto has. Remember, all 3 scores count in that sudden death playoff. Now just lips out there from Team Orlando. Really think we're going to see a birdie par push. Emma Carpenter, what do you think we're going to see?
I think it's going to be, I think the winning team is going to finish with birdie.
Do more birdie attempts.
Birdie par, and then par birdie from the other team.
Oh,
I mean,
there's the first bird. My best friend. Nice. Making dreams happen. 1 step closer to 150 grand. Ollie, 1 step closer to 150 grand. There's the 2 birdies, 2 birdie putts we saw from each team missed. Second birdie, or no, that's the cleanup par putt. So Toronto, my guess, is going to go birdie par. So it is all up to Team Orlando to beat birdie par. Can they beat birdie par? Well, they can't because they've already missed one of their birdie putts.
Geronimo, this is a must make right here. And he does it.
Gonna be birdie par for both.
Chris Wilson, 4.5 feet.
Obviously another must make, but kick in par. Nearly misses it on the left side. A push. Birdie par. As Emma Carpenter so expertly called. What happens now, Emma?
Now we continue on with the sudden death, Landon. Let's look at again. Hole number 2, 452 yards. Now, this hole, Landon, you want to stay left off the tee to avoid those bunkers on the right. Ideal position is just right there along the left side of the fairway, but the approach shot must take into account the pronounced diagonal ridge.
First one, not what you want. That is OP from Team Orlando, or Team Toronto rather. Oh no, they are in real bad trouble.
Oh, with all
one thing you can't do on a all scores matter hole is exactly what they just did. That one swing might have just thrown them out of the match. Oh no. Frenchie, who has just been their dead ringer. Both Team Orlando's drives are going to find the fairway, so they are 2 for 2 at leaving their ringer. The last drive, or if Team Toronto hits this one OB, it is all but over, but there's still a chance for a miracle.
Boy, in our 20th hole of the match, Landon, I mean, these players have got to be exhausted.
Not the only one. I drank a half a bottle of NyQuil. Hole number 2, thinking that this was all but a sure bet. What a tragic miscalculation. 2 OBs, and I would say that that is all she wrote for Team Toronto. You can hear the chatter in Orlando. That is a team that likes to chat. They are chatting about Toronto hitting OB, and just nothing but sadness, disappointment. Something, they're going to have to get mauled by some sort of grizzly bear or mythical creature not to put them away on this. I think bogey par. Oh, no. Oh, when their wheels fall off, they fall off.
Wow, Landon,
This is kind of given up.
This is reminding me of the match that we saw between Houston and Mexico when Houston started out so strong, and then they ended up giving away the end to take it to extra holes, but closed out the win in the sudden death playoff. You can't help but think that in these holes that they're facing right now, with Orlando starting out so strong, then when they face these holes again, we're seeing some similar swings from Toronto that we haven't seen since the last time they played these holes. And now it's looking like Orlando is going to complete this unbelievably huge upset.
Yeah, they are beating the number 1 ranked team as the 5 ranked team. I don't know what happened, but it's nothing good.
Landon, what would you say has been some of the most impressive stuff that you've seen today? What impressed you the most?
The flat sticks. I mean, it was a putting clinic out there. Just tasty putt after tasty putt. He needs this to go in. Badly. He's praying for a hole out. Not gonna do it. And you just wonder, what in the world happened?
In Orlando, here's Chris Wilson for a birdie putt. That'll be a real easy tap-in putt. Top-in par. All 3 scores are counting. And multiple players. We got 2 guys who found the out of bounds up in Toronto, Canada, on the old course at St. Andrews. Geronimo for another birdie putt. All 3 players in Orlando putting for birdie. And he does it!
Not imagine that there will be any outcome other than a tragic upset. Cataclysmic upset. This would do it. This would be the nail in the coffin. I don't think it's going to hurt him, though.
It is birdie par looking like it's going to be in Orlando. Just a couple of tap-in pars. And that will seal the deal for Team Orlando on the 20th hole as they upset Team Toronto, the number 1 seed in the GOLFZON Tour. They said 1 seed what?
Yeah, you wonder if they weren't playing if Team Orlando wasn't playing their A team during the seed matches or what. Who knows what's going on, but they picked it up and they put it down. Ended it triumphantly.
Team Orlando has so much to be proud of today, Landon. Upsetting the number 1 seed, and they played some pretty spectacular golf to do it. I would say that they earned this win here today, and they are 1 step closer to the GOLFZON Tour Finals, $150,000.
If there's anything that's going to get you to finally get your dad to call you back from screening all your phone calls since not graduating college and blowing all that tuition money, a tragic nursing degree that never panned out, it is Team Orlando with the upset. Picking it up. Placing directly back down.
Landon, of all of the matches that we have seen on the Golf Zone Tour thus far, this one has been the most exciting, dare I say. Team Orlando getting it done on the 20th hole to upset Golfplay in Toronto. Let's take a look at some of the golf they played today at the old course at St. Andrews.
Just a downtown putt for Eagle from Holly. Absolutely beautiful putting from Team Orlando. Beautiful putting from Team Toronto too, but they just couldn't get it. Look at this, just crazy breaker. Couldn't believe it himself. That was a record for longest putt of the Golf Zone Tour, and the final putt to put them out of their misery. They fought valiantly, but they did not fight hard enough, and that is a win from Orlando.
That's absolutely right, Landon. And I think what's most impressive about this win here today is the golf that we saw. Oftentimes in some of these upsets, it's not their best game from the 1 seed, but they showed up. I mean, eagle, birdie after hole after hole, and Orlando matched it every single time, and then took that pressure and got it done in extra holes as well. So gosh, has it been fun today. Our hearts go out to the team in Toronto, but our utmost congratulations go to Team Orlando, as we'll see them later on. Thank you very much for tuning in today. My name is Emma Carpenter, joined by Landon Ashworth. We will see you next time for the next match on the Golf Zone Tour.